Welcome back for another unboxing. I was really excited for this one because it's another character from Bleach, and one of the more popular waifus from said series, that is the former captain of the 2nd Division and born into one of the 4 noble clans, Shihōin Yoruichi, specifically in her outfit from the 1000-Year Blood War arc, while using her technique Shunkō Raijin Senkei. The statue was made by 2 studios, those being Re.Souls Studio and Yuan Meng Studios. This one has been one of my more anticipated statues because I really like Yoruichi's character design, and I thought the statue captured her perfectly from the pictures I've seen online, and I thought the base and effects made it look even better. The foam box has 2 layers. The first piece is Yoruichi's ponytail. Next is one of the bigger pieces, which is the lightning generator from Yoruichi's Shunkō. I'm honestly impressed this didn't snap during the shipment because it looks easily breakable, but I do like the yellow coloring. Now for her left hand, I thought both hands would need to be attached, but the other one is already connected to the main body, which, speaking of, is the next to take out. I really liked how it turned out. Never noticed how one of her arms is missing one of its warmers, and she appears to be more voluptuous than a manga counterpart, but I ain't complaining. Love the thigh-high boots, and the coloring for her back is nicely done, with a hole on the buttocks where a piece is supposed to be connected. Overall, pretty much perfect. Now for the headpiece. Love the expression, and the lining on her hair in the shape of cat ears is both cute and pretty badass. For the next set of pieces, it comes with an electrical plug that can light up the statue, along with a plastic holder to show off the plaque, which also comes here. It's a rectangle plaque with a Yoruichi face on one side and some letter characters on the other side. However, I don't know what it says, but it looks cool though. The next effect piece is a lightning generator from Yoruichi's back in the shape of Raijin drums, which is formed when Yoruichi does her Raijin Senkei technique. Can't wait to see that animated. And for the final and biggest piece, the base itself, which I'll say I had a really difficult time taking it out. It's both heavy and it was stuck inside because the lightning effects were sticking into the foam. I knew I was going to struggle with this part the moment I saw the base. I had actually thought about cutting the foam to make more space, but luckily I didn't need to go that far. I did have to make the box stand vertically to make sure gravity wasn't working against me, and I had to slowly shake it out. Thankfully, I managed to take out the base without breaking anything. I was terrified the tips of the lining would snap off as I tried to take it out. Even taking out the plastic bag was difficult because the base is too heavy to lift with one hand and the bag kept sticking to the tips of the lining. So I had to resort to cutting the bag around the base, which was pretty successful, I'll say. But believe it or not, that still wasn't the most stressing part of the statue. Here are all the pieces that need to be put together. Putting the main body into the base was pretty easy, just had to connect one of her feet onto the buildings on the base. Next is her arm, which is connected through a magnet. The same goes for the headpiece and the ponytail too. Now, here comes the most stressful part when assembling this statue, and where I had a major problem. The giant lightning piece is supposed to be connected to 2 buildings on the base, and the tip is supposed to be attached to the butt. However, after spending nearly over an hour and 30 minutes, quite a long time, I couldn't find a position where all 3 pieces could be connected. Even after I managed to somehow connect the lightning piece into the both buildings, something I didn't think was possible because it involved me forcing it through some pieces and stretching it out a little bit, without breaking the piece of course. But that still wasn't enough because after I put in Yoruichi, it's unable to connect to the lightning itself. I tried numerous attempts, but nothing worked, and I decided to leave it alone, or else I would have risked breaking pretty much everything at the rate I was going. I'd rather break nothing than to try to force the pieces to bend in a certain way. I did wonder if the studios made the wrong measurements, or possibly the shape was somehow bented during the shipment, or possibly I could have put it in wrong somehow. But I don't think so. I really do think that the piece was molded improperly, unfortunately. The statue from the base to the top of the head is roughly 14 inches in height, and to the tip of the lightning is roughly below 18 inches. Now for a quick display of the statue, which kind of bugs me that the Yoruichi isn't connected properly, but it still looks good when viewed from the front, though I do hope that it doesn't have any leaning issues in the future. And now to show off the statue's cool feature, the lighting effect when plugged into an outlet, which lights from the lower part of the base, a cool feature for a character whose power is lightning itself. The statue was $279 USD, with shipping being $54, less than I expected honestly. Now, ignoring the issues I had, the statue itself is really well done and possibly my favorite Bleach statue. The pose is straight from the source material itself, the effects are awesome, the coloring is well done, and the base is a reference to the destroyed buildings in the Warwelt during her battle. I can't wait to see this moment to be animated because lightning itself is one of my favorite powers in fiction, and the battle against Askin is one of my favorite fights in the 1000-Year Blood War arc, along with the other elite Stern Ritters. It's a shame we don't see more of Yoruichi in the anime and manga. She really only had 2 main fights that I can recall, one against Shihōin in the beginning of the Soul Society, and against Askin during the 1000-Year Blood War. She had a small scuffle with Yami and Aizen, but one was cut short and the other was pretty much off screen because Aizen. I would have loved to seen her interact more with Shihōin in the manga itself. I know there's a lot of scenes with her in the anime, but that's mostly anime original stuff. And we never did learn anything about her Zanpakuto, which is weird since she was a former captain, but it's something I can't overlook. I really do like Yoruichi's character. She's relatively calm and serious whenever she needs to be, but can also be playful and laid back. Love her design and her fighting style to be hand-to-hand combat in an anime all about swords. It's just badass. My only problem is that we just don't see more of her in canon material stuff. With that, I reached the end, and had some fun taking pictures of Yoruichi because there was a good amount of angles to capture. As of right now, this is my favorite Bleach statue, but there is another coming soon that might take its place. I'll see whenever I have that physically in front of me, but for now, thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.
Shunkō! まったく甘いやつじゃ。甘すぎる。やることがあってな。